So this environment can also be cognitive. What is my structure of thinking? What is my way of thinking? What is my line of? Some of us have what we call toxic thoughts. Some of us have cognitive distortions. Ways of thinking that are not rational. We are forever the what ifs, maybe, I should. That environment can also structure you to be maybe a negative person, to be a toxic person. So the environment here, before we talk of the environment shaping us, we have to first understand the environment gani. It may not be physical, it may be all those other things. So which environment here are we talking about?
Yeah, you're talking about identifying. I think the first step of transformation, I think, is
the awareness of my environment. Because yes, I could be in an environment, and like I always say, sometimes I could be the toxicity in that environment. Am I aware? It's not always when you say the grass is, the issue is with the other person. Like I always give the example, children, unapata wazazi wanasema, I don't want to see you with so and so, I don't want to see you with kings, I don't want to see you. Do I ever think that my child could be that one who is messing them? Yeah, sometimes we want to see the blame out there. So the environment in changing, I could also realize that I have contributed to the toxicity of this environment. So then I need to adjust. I need to change my way of thinking. Then this environment is going to serve us better.
What were the things that you identified for yourself now? You identified that were really hurting the boy in you, that were really hindering the man in you to come out.
Actually, maybe suppressing.
Yeah, suppressing this.
Okay, me for one, some drugs, my form of escapism. So, yeah, I used to like launch car daily. I used to do weed, cigarettes. I used to smoke like a pack and a half every day. So it's those thoughts that happen, and then you realize, it's like it's a new feeling, like you're scared, and since you don't want that, you go for the only thing that gives you that kind of confidence that you need. So the bottle was there for me, weed was there for me. But the funny thing, Yati, even at the end of it all, even if you had a good night or you just partied yourself off, you realize when you come back home, you are by yourself again. So it went on and it became an addiction. So first of all, I had to realize that, this is getting in my way of realizing who I am. What are these feelings that are behind me drinking? Why am I drinking? Two was friends, the people I hung out with. And I came to realize that even my friends and some decisions I made even in relationships, I just chose people who I was either toxic to or just they were toxic for me. And I used to love those kind of relationships. And I realized, I'm hurting myself by the decisions and the choices that I'm making. And for me, I never believed that I had a choice to make myself, like things happen. And the moment I decided, I have to make these choices for myself, that changed everything for me. So I decided, I have to choose my friends. I have to choose what I drink. It's water now. Tunakunywa chai. Tunakunywa chai. Eka sukari, sitakukataza. But they choose what you drink, choose what you eat, choose what you put in your mind, choose what you listen to, choose what you watch. Me, like nowadays, I used to binge like movies from Atasu to Jioni. Nowadays, like sijui mtaita uzee ama ama kumachua ama kumachua, si ndio?
It's actually a space of transformation, self-awareness.
So like kuna zile vitu hata mi nowadays like kuna wale mabeste naishia anauliza mse umekuwa different, like ni uncomfortable for them, ambia sini poa. Hapana, si ujibambe venye ulikuwa unajibamba, like I'm having fun. It's hapana, tu feel anymore. And nili realize like when you change, it's not about them, it's not about when you didn't change, it was about them. Because you put all your focus on them. I want to please Ndila, so let me do this. I want to please Kiro, let me do this. But now you are in your own space and they realize, hey man, we have to compete na energy anymore. So
and for the first time you're pleasing self.
And for them it's like
you've changed.
So and me nazambia tu say to embrace change. It's inevitable. You didn't have phones, now you have phones, now you have smartphones. Change is inevitable. It's either you change or just
changes you.
So for me that was it.
Something interesting that he's saying here, and I think he's speaking to me, and I think he's speaking to all of us here. That aspect of escape. I think when you are feeling so much down, there's always a place that you want to look for. For him, I think maybe it was an unhealthy escape.
What you
but
can
now,
become maladaptive.
Yes, looking for things that will kind of suppress the feeling that you're feeling. I think most of us, that is how we cope. There's some of our coping mechanisms that are not healthy, but they're toxic, but we still kind of find ourselves leaning towards
They give us some escapism.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how best can we, just give us 2, 3, 4 healthier ways of finding self? Because I think for me, I think because of alcohol, someone said inakupatia courage to speak out, and someone will say that is what works for them, but you see, it's an unhealthy way of dealing with it. And maybe there's someone there who is in such a place, he's feeling that, they're saying anamka asubuhi na feel by the way bado bado nahitaji tena, and then you get yourself into addiction, you get yourself into certain things. The friends that maybe someone anafikiria by the way sasa nikiwacha wase nitakuwa wapi. How can we speak to our lives and please ourselves in a healthier way? How can we identify such things that will make us better individuals or better people in terms of finding ourselves?
I think the most, maybe a starting point one, is that, remember we talked of our beliefs as we grew up. In which environment did I grow up? What was happening? How are people coping with maybe anger, with stress? What was the culture around? And then again, as we grow up, we start now developing our own. We could easily be conditioned to what happens in the environment. Mi kwetu tukifanya hivi si ufanya hivi. So that could easily pick the environment that you had. Me, my friends have shown me to do this. But as we're growing up, like he's asking, in immaturity ama ni uzee, could be both. So as we grow, yeah, you come to realize deep inside, the solution lies within. I know what I want. Maybe I'm just helpless. Do I have the energy? And so, as uncomfortable as it is getting, I am out there. I have to face ABCD, and I know it is not serving. Then we start having different, varying coping mechanisms. Some are healthy, some are not healthy. Now that is very relative to all of us, because there's someone who will say, I'm in control. Okay. On the part of them being maladaptive, you find that that's how sometimes we come up with addictions. We have process and we have substance. Process, for example, someone could be, when I'm angry or when I'm annoyed, or when I'm in a certain discomfort, I turn to food. There are people who turn to food. And I eat and I eat. And I feel good.
I'm not one who does shopping.
Yes, there are some who go for shopping spree. And actually they are spending, not just shopping atili ya kuangalia compare. They're actually spending. There are very many, you find out there are very many behaviors. The question is it serving? Because if I've gone, I'm just eating, what am I likely to develop into? Maybe what is it doing to my cholesterol? What is it doing to maybe obesity? And then imagine if I don't learn how to cope healthy. Like that is how I'll be coping for how long? And then now we have what we call the substance. Yeah, maybe I numb that feeling with there's weed, there's all sorts, there's heroin. Most of them will be like the depressants. Maybe they take me down. Some it's a mix, it's a cocktail. You don't even know by the ni gani imecheza hii game. But I'm running a mix and gun. Mix and gun. Yeah, ziko ukiulizwa ni nini imekuharibikia, I mean, you have no idea. But at the end of it, yes, we are coping with that. Where is it? Even there's also gambling.
Actually.
Yeah, gambling is bad. You've heard of people who started. It started because it started as an avoidance mechanism. Because I'm avoiding being there. Either I'm avoiding being in that group, I'm avoiding doing ABCD. But where is it leading me? Now that's a whole criteria in addiction. But like he says, it's very important to realize, by the way, these friends of mine, they are not taking me where I want. Again, what do I want? Unless I know what I want, I listen to myself, I listen to my values, I listen to my beliefs. Because even when we are in somewhere we know that we are not supposed to be, we know. We may, naweza jichocha, uko hapo people pleasing, the lack of assertiveness, I don't want to say no. Unaulizwa sasa mbona mlienda mpaka kokote, sana ningemwambiaje hapana, ningeambia Kings aje hapana, angenichukuaje. But deep inside I know what I want. So there's something he brought up which is very, very key. Choices. Yes, we can be a product of our environment, but then we also have choices. As I'm choosing, I know what I want. Do I know? Because now the danger is here, I don't know what I want. And if I don't have, maybe I haven't developed assertiveness, like it's a choice, I have to make a choice against 5 people. Can I stand and just go like, no guys, I am not going out. Leo siendi. Leo I'm not binging, I'm not binge drinking. Today I'm not doing ABCD. Do I have that assertiveness? So there's a lot also in personality, but choices very critical. That it reaches a point and I have to make a choice. I have to make a choice that this way of thinking, this irrational way of thinking, we call it sometimes the worst case scenario thinking. What if nigongwe na gari? What if unafanya mtihani alafu ukifail? You know, just that it gives us a very negative also way of life. So unless I make a choice to curtail it, to stop it, to start trying, it is not easy. That's what we are discussing here. It's never easy. It has to have that inner will, that intrinsic motivation, that yes, I realize hii path nimechukua mali itanifikisha si papoa. I may have seen with other people, I may have had, but what do I want for myself? And yes, we have people who do not have that ability. And we should not see them as weak. We should not see them as immoral. Like for instance, when you talk of addiction, I am of the model that addiction is a disease of the brain. So if you're looking at that person like they're immoral, that's why they are in it, then you're not helping. So sometimes then it may be, a friend may need to see you and come and pat you in the back and tell you, aki vile naona tukienda hapa utasaidika. Like someone had to point it to him. Not that he didn't know that he was not being authentic. But when it was pointed out, it's sort of rubber stamped. So if you're out there and you feel like, maybe I need to call it out on you, of course wisely and with a lot of love. There's a way you'll call out ikaeka madharau. But if I'm concerned about where the environment has placed you, I'm concerned about what you're growing into, I just need to come and lovingly just point it out. And sometimes also point this person to help. Where is their help? Knowing that the fact that I have the resilience to cope. Not everybody has that. Not everybody has that intrinsic motivation. Some of us have been messed by our environment, and we don't know any other environment. There's sometimes some have the advantage of knowing, kumbe, I can move into another environment. Some people do not have, and they've given up and they've lost all hope. So sometimes they may have the inner a voice of, I know what I want, and some people don't. You've ever asked someone and they told you, I don't know what I want. All I know is I want something different. That's the time we seek out help. That's the time we seek out professional help again, because we also don't want to be messed. Seek out professional help. There is help out there. There is a lot of help.
Maybe Kings, you can maybe tell us, as we think we naangalia director ananiambia, hey, go masa. Like, then what changed for you? What after this? Because I'm trying to believe when you are having this coping mechanisms and you're now getting into a healthier coping mechanisms. There's always a gap. When you get something out, there's always something.
You're conditioned. You have to. We say you have learned.
Yes.
So you have to unlearn.
Yes.
And then you can't leave it blank. You have to relearn. Learn something else to come. Yeah.
So I think for you, what really had, what were things that changed for you? That you really had to now, this is how, not doing this, I'm doing something different.
I'm changing, I'm replacing it with ABCD.
For me, first to add what she said, like as human beings, our core thing is to have control. We want to control things. And the funny thing is, when you start something, you have the control until it controls you. There's a photograph Ndila showed me way back. It was of a guy drinking his own face inside. Remember that picture he showed me? And then come to realize that some things we do thinking we're in control, but it actually controls us. So like for me, there was a time nilikuwa na chill job, but ikifika saa 7 nasikia hii weed inaniita. Unaona, so like nadhani niko in control juu najiambia sidi ya saa 7 alafu nirudi na natoka nachapa mapafu zangu kadhaa narudi. So it started out niko in control stuff. So like leo na smoke, kesho si smoke, kesho na smoke, kesho nyingine si smoke. But ilifika place, ikifika hiyo saa 7 nikaa clockwork. Like nikaa venye chuo ulikuwa unajua ni lunch time. So hata mwalimu akiongea hatusaani tu hapo. Ama vijiko zinazachanganyishwa kwa meza nacheki. So like imekuwa problem. So unapata like, and hakunanga kitu you kati ya msee kama kurealize that this thing is controlling me. Like you no longer have that control anymore. Like even for parents, what's the one thing that inawashtuanga ni ati one day mtu atakuja ku gain his own freedom and at some point as a parent unafeel ni aje. Like this is a reality I don't want to accept. But either way
denial.
So you deny that fact. Na saa for me hiyo fact sitakangi kudeny vitu as long as they are clear for me. Iko hivyo. And there's one time I used to do it, now ikafika place and I'm smoking in the morning, smoking in the channel. So I was driving with my aunt and alikuwa nasema hizi vitu mnatumianga, naomba Mungu zisiajai fanya kazi. Naambia kwa hivyo sasa unaomba sajai ipe na hii pesa nimetumia, uombe ishike ndo nizitumiange sana. Nitumie tu kiasi. Ndio zishiki sasa na atatumia domo. But you can understand like from our perspective ni ile shikiazo, like sitaki kuona hiki kitu ina control. And even as our president entered, alisema one thing, akasema hii pombe kama unajua wezi acha, at least jaribu we control, isi take over. So for me to gain your control nili have to realize that unajua hii kitu already imeingia ni clockwork. So hiyo saa 7 instead niende hiyo shada kula kandizi hapo maembe unacheki. Hiyo jioni instead ya niende hiyo quarter 200 hata ile nikule mtura 200.
And maybe
Something
that is coming out there, intentionality.
Yes.
Intentionality.
So,
yeah.
as na me, for me nilikam kurealize like okay, sipendi kuharibu mwili yangu, sipendi. So nikijiambia niaje hiyo shada inaharibu mwili yako. Kwanza nasikia hivyo nashikwa na stress. Na buy njugu bwana. Hata nikule njugu bwana. Mimi nataka kujengeneza hii mwili yako. So for me to realize najipenda, and for our viewers that na Kenya ulisema that kuna msee out there. Actually kuna msee out there. Anataka story kali. So mimi nakushow like for you, mimi naweza kuadvise be selfish. Achana na hiyo story. What can I do for myself? Because ndio kitu tujifundishwa. Mbona upati nani? Like what can you do for yourself? See, I can feed for another instead ya ni bayo shada meyo pombe tukunywe si wote. Acha nijitreat. Self-love.
I love the fact that it makes you now first think of how to better yourself. How it's no longer now about other people, no longer
the crowd mentality.
It's no longer about the environment. You see now that it comes out ni wewe ndio unataka. You want the best
for yourself. And you come to realize like tumelelewa na ile mentality ya hapana, you should always look out for someone else, unaona, saidiana. But in the real sense, who is helping you? You're the only person who can help yourself. Because as much as out here tunajifanya we all friends, everybody is looking out for himself. So mimi as advice mse, we look out for yourself. Can your addiction realize kwanza that ina take over,
it will at some point take over,
unaona. Na hata kama unajichocha like mimi niko na mabesadi sasa wana use, so namuuliza mse ananiambia hapana niko in control, lakini nachikimu mse masaa ingine mbili umeniambia utumii kidogo ulienda. So like hatutaki ku accept your fact that hii kitu inani control. But the moment tuna accept, that's a power by itself. Ni aje hii kitu by the kulingana venye inipeleki poa. So what can I do about it? Nichore. Na naweza ichorea aje? Now where you say options, you always have options. So for me nilijaribu reprogram, and identify na nikaanza immediately kujireprogram. Niaje, this is the time I usually smoke, so let me do this. No, this is the time I usually drink, let me do this. I had even to quit some things like watching football, because ilikuwa
the environment
hii ball imekaa sasa hizo mzinga mse ya kwanza ya pili ya tatu tuliko tuione tu kasande watu ende kejani. Sasa imekuwa ni kasande tuingie cup tuishe kuiva kidogo
hivi ndio mlenda kuivia na ibaki
mlishaenda alafu asubuhi umemka kwa kichaka unaangalia pesa
pesa imeenda yote
ama kunaendaje?
So like at that time it's beyond your control. So it has now
control. So na as much as tunatakanga kuambia na historia tulienda kuiva Nola mtu akuambiangi asubuhi asubuhi yake kuliendaje. Sasa unaona tu ka jokes mimi ndaacha pombe leo sikati maji. But tukirealize tu ni kwa nini nakata, it's not about sasa ati ndaacha kwa nini nakata maji. Once you identify the core problem,
you deal with the problem,
know the way you can move forward.
Maybe speak to someone, and that one that will come here. Just speak to someone who is maybe in a similar situation,
who needs the motivation to make that change. And maybe before even he does that, I really want to affirm and just congratulate you. Thank you so much for even accepting to be vulnerable to that point. Not many have that strength.
Yes.
So we really totally appreciate. Thank you so much.
So me naweza kushow first of all, and this is the statement naweza kuambia, whatever you believe in has strength over you. You're actually strong the way you are, but as long as una believe hii kitu iko na nguvu kunishinda, there's no way you can move. As long as una believe your friends have power over you, there's no way you can move. So believe in yourself. That's the only thing mean as a show. Believe in yourself and the ability that wewe unaweza move from hiyo point yenye uko to what you envision in your mind of you becoming. If you see yourself, na hiyo ndo naitanga vision, sio? If you see yourself ni aje, mimi ni msitumiangi. Kana hiyo vision, try to live that vision every single day. And tuache kuangalia a whole year ama Kenya watasema ama you just make it about yourself and this day. Hello, Koskogan.
Being present in today, 6th of March.
Long 6th of March on a Monday. So on a Monday, this is what I'm supposed to do. And make it out niaje clear, this is what I'm supposed to do. And believe in yourself. Hiyo tu ndo the only thing mimi naweza kushow. Because as long as you believe something else is stronger than you, it is actually stronger than you.
Awesome.
Ndila, let's tell them something as we wrap up.
Well, I think I just may not even have much because that was just the richest conversation because it's about you. And I like the way he has put it because it's about him. Everyone has their way out there. So yes, let's remember that our environment is there. Sometimes we have no option out of it, but are we aware of it? Am I aware of the environment physically, emotionally, cognitively, and do I have the ability to master it? Because most of the time if we let it master us, then it may not end up well. If there is a challenge I need to face, let's not choose not to face, because that's when now we end up with other maladaptive coping behaviors. And I believe help is at hand. I believe even in your journey there was some help that came in. So help. Don't feel helpless. It is okay to feel helpless, but what do you do after feeling helpless? That which you want, that which you'd want to internalize and to achieve, if you can't do it on your own will, there's someone out there ready to help you walk that journey. But the decision and the choice has to be yours.
So heavy things to discussing today. And I think this conversation you can carry it on. I think on the
We can carry on. Let's hear maybe what they would want us to, even if what they would want him to maybe talk more about. I know we've really just touched that. Is there something specific you'd want to hear? Because let's just put it, he has conquered to some degree. Not many have that ability to just move out it on their own. So what is that his journey can help in your journey with the
So we continue with the conversation on our comment section. I think we can also leave some contacts also.
Yes.
We'll
Put a contact. I will put out a contact.
So that we, if you need help, I think for me, is always a way out. For me, I think I'll say there's always a way out. There's
always a way out. There is always a way. And I always say, die trying. Do it. There'll be someone out there to help you.
So, till next time, from us is
bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.